Hello and welcome, dear brothers and sisters. This is African Network. My name is Kindaman, and I'm your host of this program. Dear brother, as the drill, I will have to ask you before I start this news here to ask your support by clicking the button and for notification, as well as to subscribe to this beautiful channel. I have got here a story. Somehow is good, I think, if may I say that. But somehow some people will probably say that's not good. But I'll say it's good for one reason, and I will give you a comment exactly why do I say that. As you can see the title is saying that the Angolan government has today is official that he sealed or suspended the activities of the Universal Church in Angola. I think many African countries has this church here, the Universal Church of Kingdom of God. I think it founds in many African countries, and the work they do is really bad. We know already religion is a problem in the continent, and this church here, Universal Church, even the worst church you can imagine for our people in Africa. Okay, the story says like this. The matter starts in November 2019 when the group of Angolan pastors spoke out against the manner through which the Universal Church of Kingdom of God, one of the one of the largest evangelical congregational in the world, managed in Angolan branch. At the time, Angolan pastors signed a manifesto accusing their Brazilian counterpart of corruption, racism, denouncing a forced vaccectomy policy. So now you can see that what I said, this church really is a problematic in Africa. We've got already where we stop doing following our God as an Africans, but with this church, this evangelical church, when it comes to Africa, they become even worse. So the policy that this church was more is a use discrimination, racism. He is a corrupt church. Is a kind of is a criminal gang. This church exactly is a criminal gang. If you see the activity, the way they do it, is really a criminal gang that they be imposing in many countries. So on this manifesto, one of the things that the pastors in that church in Angola they talking exactly is this is corruption that been going through racism, the practice of vasectomy, where in Africa, especially where we've got a few people or the population is really low, and then this church, Edir Macedo, or Church of Edir Macedo, who is the owner, the Universal Church, end up of coming, if you want to be a priest in the church, you need to go through this surgery of vasectomy where you cannot have children. And this is way said. And on the other hand, this church here in Angola have been doing a money laundry. He took to Brazil every year more than 80 million American dollar. So, and we know this guy here, Dilma said in Brazil, he's a I think on the rank of a billionaire. I think he's number 12. So he is super rich from the money come from Angola is one of the country, because this, according to the priest in that church, say that Angola is one of the church or one of the countries that contribute a lot for building many church across Africa and Europe as well. So the money was coming from Angola, passed through South Africa, and from there it been put it in many countries. So in June 2020, a group of Angolan pastors formally broke ties with the Brazilian Universal Church, forming the Universal Church of Angola. The group claimed to have assumed control over 42 percent of the country's temple. And that's exactly what happened. All the members of the church end up of how to call it, occupying all the main church, especially in the surrounding province, and occupy this church. So the case have been in not in court, but yeah, I would say that in court, and there have been all this investigation. The police have been investigating the case. The case is not yet finalized, but today, as we speak, the Angolan government had a chance to suspend the church. Seven of those temples that is in capital city Luanda has been suspended. I don't know in other part of the country, but in the main capital, all the temples were closed. Now the government is still working on those investigations to find out exactly how the money managed to leave the country, because according to the testimony of many priests is that these guys they always send a delegation of Brazilians to come going to Angola, and then and that number of people, that's a delegation of 20 or so members, and each one takes an amount of money that is allowed to take out of the country. So that's exactly what they do. They bring a lot of people and then take all that money, goes straight to Brazil, making every single year more than 80 million. We are not talking about it was 80 million. So that is a lot of money that's being taken from the country, which is the Angolan government now suspending the license of this church until further notice. But also one of the things that we may say, these members of Angolan priests recently, they did assembly where they promote all the Brazilians as on the board of director of the church. So what will happen from now on is if they will be able to open again the church, perhaps or probably the Angolans will take control of the church, because as it seems right now that the Brazilians have to pay for all these crimes they've been committing. What they did is all the priests' wives, when they are pregnant, they been tortured. Some of them lost their babies because they had that pressure psychologically on them to carry a baby, because the priest cannot carry a baby. That is a huge blowing for all the Angolans when they heard exactly what this church had been doing. Basically, people that didn't knew exactly what's going on in the country until recently, when these priests they end up coming telling the public that this is exactly what's going on in the church, and we don't want to be part of this crime that's going on in the country. So that's exactly the biggest problem, and we hope that the government will, or the court will be able to fix this problem here by punishing everybody that is involved on this money laundering, because the people have been giving the money to build those church. And one of the things as well that is also this priests being they are upset is the Brazilians. They were selling almost everything that the members were being donating, all the houses, all the cars, all the land. The Brazilians were just selling, taking all the money taken to Brazil. So more than half, or 90%, is it according to one of the priests, 90% of the universal how do you call it, donation or donated things in Brazil have been sold to take the money and send it to Brazil. I think I talked too much right now, so thank you very much for your time, as I said, and please remember to subscribe. So see you soon, and ciao.